What's up Saints and Saints? Balik lagi ke mana podcast kita setelah kita 1 bulan and a half or so kita hiatus, kita sabat. We are trying to dimasukkan lagi sama Tuhan wisdomnya. Tapi aku nggak tahu hari ini kita bakal dapat wisdom untuk kagak sih, to be honest. Because hari ini kita kedatangan, well, one of them udah pernah podcast bareng kita hari ini, but another one of them itu adalah housemateku yang sangat-sangat unik. One of them, Brian, you guys have met before dari relationship podcast kita. Yang satu lagi adalah conspiracy theory commander kita. Calvin Petrus Dolan, Dolan panggilan sayangnya kita. And ayo perkenalin diri sendiri masing-masing dulu, nama dan umur, status, pekerjaan, apapun lah.
Oke, dari awal lagi ya. My name is Brian. Aku umur 23, udah taken. Dan sekarang lagi kerja as assistant manager.
Wih, sedap. Dolan.
Namaku Calvin, biasa dipanggilnya Dolan.
Kenapa Dol?
Karena for some reason ketika main Dota, username saya itu adalah Dolan.
Dari mana tapi?
I don't know, I just like the Dolan. Donald Duck. Yes, it is.
Donald Duck tuh Dolan.
No, Dolan is like the horror version of the Donald.
Oke.
Yes, it is. It is.
Baru tahu.
Yeah,
Konspirasi commander.
Emang konspirasi theory commander kita memang. Aku aja nggak tahu ada kayak the horror version of Donald Duck. Donald Duck has always been this cute duck. And now he's like this scary duck.
Nggak so scary itu, tapi ya itu pokoknya lebih dark version of Donald Duck.
Oke.
Ya, terus umur 33, masih single.
Oke,
unfortunately. Terus kerjaan
Masih terbuka berarti ya.
Oh ya, masih open, betul. Open kan harus kayak open door ya, kayak lagu ya.
Siap.
Open space, sorry, maaf. Open door apaan? Ya. Itu terus ya di sini kerja as an database engineer. That's it.
Kamu punya history lesson tuh lumayan bagus Dol. And karena dia lumayan dia suka history and he likes reading books. What kind of books do you like reading?
Random sih kok, tergantung. Tapi ya kalau misalnya kayak novel, I think lebih kayak yang bikin mikir lah, yang misteri gitu. Aku suka kayak gitu. Kayak misalnya Crime and Punishment gitu. Tapi itu baru ya gitu. Contohnya salah satunya.
Dostoevsky.
Ya, Dostoevsky. Tapi aku baca agak pusing ya. Bacanya agak pusing, cuman kayak dicoba lah ya karena full Inggris, jadi aku juga ya Inggrisku agak kurang-kurang dikit, jadi nggak apa-apa lah ya. Tapi baca-baca biar menambah ilmu Inggrisnya. Gitu.
Yeah, this surprisingly likes reading books yang aku kayak wow, this is not the kind of books yang I see Dolan reading, you know, kayak terus history dia juga lumayan bagus. Dia menurutku dia tentang history tentang gereja aja lumayan bagus dia. So, you know, lumayan nggak nyangka sih, packagingnya tuh nggak sesuai gitu sama kontennya.
Itu benar.
Right?
Lumayan.
And mereka ini hopeng banget. For those of you konteks mereka ini hopeng banget. Kalau misalnya mereka jadi satu, parah sih, berantakan sih. Jadi we just have no idea where this podcast is going to be going. We have a general idea as to like what we're going to be talking about today, especially when it comes to mereka berdua yang mereka punya opinion very very spicy. Dia punya opinion very spicy, Brian punya opinion very spicy, and Dolan punya opinion very how do I say this? Unique. Peculiar.
Nggak ada fokus-fokus. Daripada nyebut yang jelek, nyebut yang
jadi for konteks juga, background juga, Brian itu a PK, pastor's kid, right?
Right. Yeah.
So as a pastor's kid, what's like the weirdest thing that you see happen either di gereja or kayak di Bandung atau di sekolah kamu?
The weirdest thing.
Because I know you mentioned something about.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's not like the weirdest.
Maybe not that, tapi ya
thing. As a pastor's kid, the weirdest thing. Apa ya? Nggak tahu sih. Paling waktu itu memang mungkin sempat pas pertama kali Jehovah Witness keluar, tiba-tiba booming gitu. Memang ada sempat pembicaraan tentang ini tuh kayak mereka tuh siapa sih gitu kan. Terus ya emang dari yang diomongin sih mereka itu ya mohon maaf tapi rada melenceng gitu, rada
melencengnya kenapa?
Rada melencengnya
yang
ya,
kamu tahu tuh apa?
Yang aku tahu jujur aku nggak ingat sih. Maaf tapi walaupun aku pastor's kid dulu kalau kebaktian itu emang suka tidur sih. Jadi ya maaf. Aku cuma ingat dia pokoknya ada Jehovah Witness lah gitu.
Padahal bapaknya sendiri yang khotbah.
Oh enggak itu banyaknya ngomong itu tuh pas dulu di sekolah.
Okay.
Gitu di sekolah tiap hari Kamis ada kebaktian, mereka beberapa kali bahas tentang Jehovah Witness. Tapi aku sendiri nggak terlalu tertarik dulu gitu.
Sama Jehovah Witness atau sama?
Sama mohon maaf tapi sama ya khotbahnya juga sih. Jadi
jadi dua-duanya yang nggak tertarik sebenarnya. Dua-duanya ya betul.
Kamu pernah nggak tapi di Melbourne kan sini ada kayak stand gitu.
Iya.
Kamu pernah nggak kayak ditanyain sama mereka?
Ditanyain sama mereka?
Iya tentang kayak.
Gak pernah sih.
Gak pernah sama sekali.
Tapi aku mungkin pernah coba dengar dikit gitu, walaupun nggak kedengeran sih mereka ngomong apa. Tapi I'm quite curious, a little bit curious tentang kayak ini mereka tuh ngobrolin apa sih gitu.
Aku juga, aku sering banget waktu lagi lewatin terus aku biasa aku jalan sama Nesa, aku bilang sama Nesa sering banget kayak one of these days aku mau kayak ngobrol sama mereka. Kayak aku legit curious as to mereka punya kepercayaan tuh apa. I know a little bit tapi aku pengen denger straight from the horse's mouth, ya kan ya. Kamu tau bedanya Jehovah Witness sama Mormon nggak?
No.
Kamu tau nggak Dol?
No.
Ya kalau itu jangan bahas itu kita hari ini. Kalau itu nggak ada yang tahu duduk tiga-tiganya. Ya tapi kalau misalnya di daerah Bandung gitu sering nggak kayak ada ya berita-berita tentang denominasi aneh lah apa segala macam.
Denominasi
gitu.
Aneh.
Kayak Lia Eden gitu.
Kalau di Indo nggak pernah, tapi aku pernah dengar. I guess the weirdest thing yang pernah aku dengar itu adalah di Korea itu pernah ada kejadian di mana jadi ada satu gereja, aku nggak ingat di mana specifically, tapi basically pastornya itu melenceng banget lah. Jadi cewek-cewek di sana itu harus kayak like dipersembahkan untuk di ya itulah bagian kayak hal seksual gitu sama si pastornya gitu. Gitu.
Oh wow.
And they make it sound as if that's God's command in order for you to like either be safe or something. I'm not so sure about that. Don't quote me on that. Tapi it is sort of like a requirement.
Oh wow. Ini kayak yang lumayan mirip sama yang di US ya. Ada kayak gini, mirip-mirip kayak gini juga.
I think I've heard.
Iya.
Gitu
Ada
juga.
Netflix dokumenternya actually.
Right.
Apa judulnya? Apa Pray Love? Bukan Eat Pray Love, itu mah Julia Roberts. Apa namanya? Ya ini ntar kita bakal taruh di sini judul Netflix show-nya. I'm just kidding. Kak, apa namanya? Now, you as a pastor's kid, I'm sure other people have some sort of expectations sama kamu kan ya. And I'm sure there are things yang mungkin orang-orang lain bisa ngelakuin, tapi you as a pastor's kid, it's almost like you have to apa namanya harus jaga image.
Yes.
Can you share about that?
Okay, sure. First is what you said is actually true, because at the end of the day, when you have someone, when you have a parent that is a role model for everyone, you will always get expectations from other people. Kenapa? Karena because they're expecting you to be the same as your parents. Nggak usah jauh-jauh deh. Even kita nih pembahasan secara kekristenan gitu. Pada saat kita itu dipanggil anak Allah, kita itu kan di-expect sama orang-orang untuk kayak if you don't show that if you don't show a characteristic of a God's son, they question you. Even though sometimes it's just a small mistakes that you make. Tapi they actually point that out. Kenapa? Karena all they know is that are you really a Christian when you do that? Or are you like really a believer when you do that? So this is the same thing. Pada saat misalkan contoh aku dulu pernah diundang sama papi aku untuk ngomong di depan. Karena papi aku pengen aku mirip kayak dia, bisa ngomong di depan. So we did sort of like the same thing. We did like gak podcast sih, tapi waktu
tapi
itu
papi kamu bukan Sydney Muede kan?
bukan. Itu temannya papi aku, betul. Betul, tapi itu bukan papi aku.
Inside joke, sekarang mukanya mirip aku kayak terus.
Ya, tapi balik lagi ke yang tadi. So aku lagi ngobrol sama papi aku di depan untuk dijadiin sebuah pembelajaran buat jemaat-jemaat di gereja aku. Itu aku karena I am a very spontaneous and straightforward person. Jadi aku ngomong menurut aku nggak gitu kasar sebenarnya, tapi I guess people does see that as a bit offensive, a bit inappropriate karena maybe it's because Asian culture atau mungkin it's because of the church culture. So if for example aku bilang kayak jokingly bahwa kayak you know kalau aku compare my dad and my mom, ya kita tahu lah siapa yang lebih bodoh gitu. And that's actually like a really inappropriate thing for some people. And then they actually think bahwa kayak wah ini anak nggak tahu hormat gitu, atau kayak ini anak pendeta kok bisa ngomong kayak gitu. Tapi surprisingly ada orang-orang yang tetap ngerti aku gitu. Di kumpulan jemaat itu yang kayak pas aku turun tuh mereka bilang kayak wah itu kamu ngakak banget sih pas kamu bilang kayak gitu. Itu ya aku agree gitu atau apa segala macam. Nah,
agree jadi agree ada yang lebih bodoh.
Iya, karena maksudnya it was I was trying to joke around kan itu kan, and then some people laugh, but some people doesn't see that as something good gitu. Jadi ya di situ dimana aku paling ngerasa bahwa kayak wow, selama ini aku mikir bahwa kayak I don't really care about what other people think. This time it sort of like hit me because wow, someone has expectations towards me, and then now I actually kinda care about it gitu loh. And then di situ a little bit of a paradigm shift di mana kayak okay, I try my best untuk kayak whenever aku bisa I will try to give a good image, but at the same time I try to balance that out bahwa kayak look, at the end of the day I'm still a human being. I can make mistakes, I am imperfect, but I'm still happy to be who I am right now. Gitu.
Kamu yang back you di jokes itu sama yang against you di jokes itu, can you share the main differences di antara mereka? Karena biasanya I know the type of people yang against it sama the type of people yang kayak for it.
I think the main differences itu bisa dilihat dari culture keluarganya. Gitu. Kalau misalkan aku lihat kebanyakan dari orang yang back me up bahwa mereka kayak oh it's just joke around, kayak it's fine. Itu adalah tipe keluarga yang di dalam keluarga itu very open, very straightforward, and then suka joke around-nya juga kayak gitu, mirip-mirip kayak oh iya soalnya si papi mah kan ya rada blow on gitulah, soalnya bikin mistake-nya dikit-dikit, bikin mistake gitu. Sedangkan kalau mami kan lebih terstruktur gini-gini. So they accept that as something normal. Kenapa? Karena memang di dalam kehidupan daily life-nya mereka itu it's a normal thing gitu. Tapi buat orang-orang yang I think very conservative, they tend to be lebih kayak oh you gotta respect your parents to the point bahwa kayak you are not allowed to say those kind of words gitu loh. Gitu sih.
Kamu pernah ngelewatin masa-masa bandel kamu gak? Kayak what's sebandel-bandel kamu tuh di Bandung tuh kayak gimana? Soalnya aku jarang ngelihat pastors kids yang gimana ngomongnya? Yang nggak bandel.
Oh, aku nggak bandel atau gimana?
Aku bilang jarang.
Okay, so
aku jarang ngeliat pastors kids yang nggak bandel. Karena aku ngerasanya ya. Here's why I think a lot of pastors kids itu have a tougher road ahead of them. Karena mereka dari kecil langsung disodorkan dengan iman Kristus, sedangkan mereka belum siap untuk menerima itu, dan mereka nggak ada journey mereka masing-masing. Sedangkan kalau orang-orang lain, they go through their own journey. Sedangkan kalau misalnya this pastor's kids, they are entrusted into it langsung kayak gitu. Jadi nggak ada kayak this perjumpaan pribadi, and that's makanya ada kayak misalignment gitu antara iman mereka sama mereka anak siapanya, ya kan? And makanya aku tadi nanya, kau have you ever gone through like the Badung period kayak you go to the clubs lah, or you drinks lah, atau you ngerokok lah, you vape lah, whatever it is.
Well,
Atau kamu masih ngelakuin itu semua sekarang?
No. Apparently, I hate all those things.
Oh, okay.
It's not because karena mami papi aku nyuruh nggak boleh, and then now I adopt that. Nggak, tapi lebih kayak I tried drinking alcohol. I hate the bitter taste.
Okay.
I've never gone to a club, but I've seen what a club looks like. Not a big fan of it either, because it's too loud, and then I don't. Okay, I find club more or less associated with either drinking or a little bit of like a concert, but not a concert. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So, with the drinking part, I've told you guys that I don't like that. Tapi when it comes to like the concert thingy, it's also not really like I'm not really a big fan of those two, because I feel like, look, if I want to listen to music, I just listen at home. Like, why would I go and then jump around and all that? Terus kayak people tend to go to the club until midnight atau bahkan sampai ini kan, sampai subuh banget kan. I don't think it brings any productivity, so don't think that.
Mending main game ya?
I'd rather play games, honestly. Well, at least when you play games, you think, no?
You think.
But when you go to the club, you don't think, right?
You don't. They're thinking of getting late.
Yeah. Kalau misalkan when you play game, you improve your how your mind works. When you go to the club, you're losing your mind. Kan beda.
Betul.
You don't want that, right? Exactly.
I agree.
That's good. That's good. Tapi what do you think as a Christian about going to the club in the first place? Okay, to both of you.
About going to the club. Okay,
Yeah.
you wanna answer first?
Me? Hui. Buat aku sih personally, susah ya. Menurutku personally enggak, menurutku.
Kenapa?
Selain alasan yang Brian bilang tadi, karena aku juga nggak suka berisik sama itu ya. I think people in the club have different agenda in the club.
Agendanya apa?
I don't know. Ya, kalau misalnya cowok, ya cari cewek buat nanti dibawa pulang, atau cari jodoh gitu. It's something that's normal in there. Kayak karena tujuannya di situ udah salah in a way, menurutku lebih baik dihindari. Jangan gitu loh. Emang ada mungkin orang datang ke situ cuman kayak ya ngobrol-ngobrol atau misalnya cuman sambil minum gitu, which is kalau misalnya in moderation, aku sebenarnya nggak terlalu masalah sama drinking, tapi in moderation ya, in moderation. Yeah.
Jadi alkohol nggak apa-apa kalau kamu in moderation, right?
In moderation, yeah.
Kenapa? Kayak do you have what's your value system around that?
I think I can refer that to like in the Bible kayak.
Let's go.
Kalau misalnya, let's say pernikahan di Kana, di mana harus di wine untuk kayak some occasion gitu. Kayak
He knows his history.
ya, kayak misal wedding occasion gitu, ya it's okay gitu loh. Dan dimana kita juga kalau yang perjamuan kita kan technically itu alkohol kan, which is kayak ya in moderation it's very small amount gitu. Tapi kayak kita ya udah gitu aja untuk occasionally, I think it's fine gitu lah. Selama kita bisa jaga diri, tapi juga jangan kita mencobai diri kita. Kalau misalnya kita udah nggak sanggup, misalnya teman kita ayo minum lagi atau gitu, ya jangan, tolong. Tolong lari dari godaan itu, cobaan itu gitu loh. Kenapa banyak orang kayak masih kontroversi ya? Kenapa banyak orang masih kontroversi itu baik atau buruk ya? Sekali lagi karena kalau misalnya itu ada kemungkinan kita buat jatuh ke yang salah, lebih baik ya memang dihindari dari awal gitu kan sebenarnya kan gitu. Cuman kalau menurutku secara occasionally, asal kamu bisa menjaga diri, it's okay gitu. Asal jangan ya keterusan aja, intinya gitu sih. Menurutku gitu.
You know yang lagi ngetrend di US apa? Christian nightclub.
What?
Right?
Really?
Christian nightclub. So basically what they do adalah it's the environment of a club, tapi they do praise songs. Aku nggak tahu ada khotbah atau enggak, tapi I don't think there's khotbah. There's dance floor.
Okay.
I don't know if alcohol is served. Do you know? No, alcohol is not served. So it's basically just like club environment dan lagunya lagu praise, right? So what do you think about that?
Agak susah ya. Aku juga kan technically aku backgroundnya kan sebenarnya Katolik kan dari awal kan. Which is kayak I feel like there's selama kalau misalnya ada struktur kayak bukan itunya apa sih namanya tuh. Biasanya tuh kok bukan struktur acara namanya apa sih kalau misalnya gereja ada rundown-nya gitu pokoknya yang menunjukkan kalau ya nanti ada sakramen Ekaristia atau apa gitunya. Selama itu masih ada, I think kayak klub kayak lagu itu is just a form of worship in a way. I cannot really say kayak aku bisa ngejudge mereka gitu loh. Mungkin cara worship mereka begitu. I'm not the one who can say that. Only God that can say that is wrong gitu loh. Jadi kayak ya selama kalau aku ngelihat selama masih ada kayak tata cara yang jelas, I think aku netral aja sama itu. I don't really mind.
Brian?
Tapi bukan berarti aku mau ke situ ya. Gitu.
Iya, ngerti.
Alright, aku ya. I would like to start with this. Tuhan itu kasih kita free will, so that we can also train our wisdom. Jadi Tuhan itu bukan Tuhan yang kasih kita free will, give us command, and then let us pick whether we wanna follow His command or not. It's not just that. On the surface level, kalau kita baca Alkitab, it sounds like it's always about God giving command and then kayak kita mau ikutin atau enggak. But if we go deeper and more detail when we're reading the Bible, there's a lot of cases di mana now it's not about Tuhan ngomong apa and then kita lakuin atau enggak. Now it's more about kira-kira kita bisa wise dengan apa yang dengan free will yang udah Tuhan kasih enggak? Let me give you an example. Contoh, when it comes to misalkan kita makan, God doesn't really tell us kayak like don't eat freaking KFC, like He never said that, but we know for a fact bahwa kayak KFC compared to salads, those are two different foods, and we know which one has maksudnya yang satu has this negative effect, this has positive effect, apanya gitu kan?
Kalau saladnya di deep fried gimana?
Oh itu nggak ikutan sih kok. But basically, kol goreng. But basically what I'm trying to say is that segala sesuatu itu sebenarnya diperbolehkan.
Iya.
Tapi pertanyaannya adalah apakah segala sesuatu itu bermanfaat buat kita? Now that's a different thing.
Betul. Setuju.
Because when it comes to okay, I don't want to judge something that I don't know. I don't want to judge mereka yang bikin Christian nightclub or whatever you call it, and then just say that they're wrong. Kenapa? Karena we have to be able to discuss with them first, or at least talk with them first, and understand where they're coming from. Unless we know where they're coming from, it's very unfair for us to judge langsung gitu loh. Because look, the thing is we're not God. Okay, God knows everything. I don't know everything. Mungkin maksud di belakangnya bisa baik, caranya mungkin yang salah, right? So that's what we need to calibrate first. Kayak apakah mereka ini datang, apakah mereka ini punya ide itu untuk jangkau orang-orang supaya kalian daripada ke nightclub, we make a nightclub di mana kayak we're praising God there. I think that's a good idea, right? And then apakah ada negative impactnya? There might be depending on cara yang dipakainya apa. For example, if they serve a lot of high concentrated alcohol drink, now that's like a very dangerous thing. I think you're playing with fire. It's not that I'm saying bahwa kayak I don't think God would allow that. Instead of saying something on behalf of God, I'll just say something on behalf of myself. Through my wisdom that yang aku punya, aku bakal bilang bahwa kayak look, it is unsafe, it is unwise. And then if you don't trust me, then you can do it and see what happens. Because sometimes people have to learn from mistakes too. True. And I think I will definitely allow people to learn from mistakes juga gitu
Mm.
loh.
Mm-mm.
I mean, as long as it doesn't cost life, I guess.
Yeah.
If someone died, then
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Gitu. Kayak, I don't really know what to say anymore.
It's too late
Tapi,
already.
Yeah. Tapi kalau when it comes to this kind of things, look, if you have good motivation and you don't know whether something is a really good decision or not, sometimes trying it is not always a bad idea.
Yeah. Aku juga I was thinking about this kayak a while back waktu aku lihat kayak this Christian nightclub. I'm like, aku pertama kayak against it.
Mhm.
Tapi terus iya aku mikir kayak, tapi tujuan mereka tuh ngelakuin itu apa? It could be that ini buat orang-orang yang mungkin pertama belum ngerasa nyaman sama gereja in the first place, so they provide this as a
Yep.
testing the water tactic,
Yep.
right? And if you think about it,
Yep.
if we take the sermon out of
Mhm.
church on
Mhm.
Sundays, and we just take the first 5 minutes of
Yeah.
today's
Mhm.
service.
Yeah.
Bagai raja
lagi.
itu basically udah kayak Christian nightclub nggak sih? Tadi
Yeah,
kita
yeah,
nari-nari
yeah,
lah
yeah,
apa
yeah.
segala macam,
I
jumping
agree.
around.
Yep.
So I feel like the music is agnostic, the place is agnostic. It's the purpose behind it yang drives it menurutku.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So it could be that they're providing that space untuk supaya orang-orang jadi a foot in the door untuk kayak, yo, it looks like we have the same the same overlapping interest.
Yep.
So there's this church, there's
Yep.
that church, there's
Yep.
this church, there's that
Yep.
church. So
Yep.
if that is the case,
Yep.
if that reaches orang dan supaya
Yep.
orang jadi dekat sama Tuhan, I'm down, man.
Yep.
I'm down. So yeah, I don't have a problem with
Yep.
quote-unquote kayak
Yep.
Christian
Yep.
nightclub.
And then sometimes it's like there are things that are neutral, but
Yeah.
depending on how you use it, it
Yes.
becomes evil or
Yes.
good. If we take dancing, for example, dancing is okay, or jangan dancing. Let's just say like sacrificial. Like we're trying to sacrifice a lamb, for example. In the Bible, we sacrifice lamb for God.
Yeah.
Sacrificing a lamb itself is a very neutral thing,
Yeah.
but the thing is when you sacrifice it for
To
God,
who?
to God,
Yeah.
it becomes a good thing in front
Yeah.
of God. But we can do the same thing as like, oh, I'm gonna sacrifice this lamb for the devil.
Yeah.
No, it becomes an evil thing
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's not about the action. It's
Yeah.
more about what's behind the action.
Yeah.
It's either the motivation
Yeah.
of the action
Yeah.
or kayak action itu dampaknya apa,
Mm-mm.
right?
Yeah.
So I think sometimes people are too quick-witted to judge,
Iya, iya.
and then they fell into those
Iya. True.
hole.
Ya, aku setuju. Aku dari tadi kalian mention about the word judge. I've seen people, especially Christians, bahkan non-Christians juga say this a lot. Don't judge me, only God can judge me. Pernah dengar nggak sih?
Yeah,
Orang
yeah,
gitu. The Bible says, lu nggak boleh judge. Well,
Yeah.
technically, waktu Tuhan bilang, do not judge and judge not for the same measure that you will be judged.
Mhm.
He's not talking about kayak kita making assessment ke
Yeah.
mereka.
Yep.
You can make assessment ke
Yep.
mereka. Bahkan di bawahnya Tuhan bilang you judge a tree by its fruit,
Yep.
right? You know a tree by its fruit, katanya
Yeah.
kan ya. So dia kan making
Yeah.
assessment. Di Bible waktu when the Bible says about
Mhm.
judge, it's not talking about kayak karena lu ngelakuin ini karakter lu kayak gini. Waktu itu di Bible ngomongin tentang judge, it's not talking about kayak what we do kayak as in kayak berarti lu orang kayak gini, berarti
Yeah.
orang gitu. It's not talking
Yeah.
about that. It's
Yeah.
talking about kayak you have a moral apa ya namanya? You kayak ketuk palu, mereka masuk surga atau enggak. Itu artinya. Judge itu maksudnya kalau misalnya di Bible. Karena cuma
Yeah.
Tuhan yang bisa ngejudge itu, maksudnya itu kayak cuma
Yeah.
Tuhan yang bisa nentuin lu masuk neraka atau masuk surga tuh itu maksudnya.
Yep.
It's not that you cannot judge, you cannot make assessment as to what kind of a person this person is gitu kan ya. Anyhow, terus another thing juga yang aku mau going back to adalah tentang tadi aku ngebahas tentang minum-minum. Tadi ngebahas minum kan ya?
Yeah,
minum,
drinking
terus
alcohol.
drinking alcohol, terus Christian
Club.
nightclub.
Yeah.
What about vaping? Menurut kalian vaping itu bagaimana?
It's okay. You can do it. It's just
Interesting.
no, like for real, you can do it. I'll quote what Paul will say. anything is permissible, but not everything is useful.
Yes.
You can do anything, like legit. Gak ada yang larang sebenarnya. Sure thing. It's just like, does it bring something good out of you?
Is it useful for you?
Sorry?
Is it useful?
No, that's a different question. It's not useful. It's not useful. If you're asking whether it's permissible, I will say it's permissible. Sure thing, why not? Gitu. Tapi when you ask, is it useful? No, obviously it's not. Like, tell me what's a good thing about it. Then, I'll be more than happy to discuss and be open-minded about it.
Yeah.
But for me, myself, I hate anything that has smokes. So, funny thing is, menurut aku itu, I was born this way for some reason. It's like bukannya aku nggak mau minum, bukannya aku nggak mau nge-club, bukannya aku nggak mau ngerokok, bukannya aku nggak mau nge-vape. I just don't like it. My body doesn't like. My body hates it. Gitu loh. So thank God I don't have to deal with that. Gitu sih.
Aku setuju. Well, yeah. You have your own battles. So
yes. Everyone has their own battles. Okay.
You're attracted to different things. Mungkin nggak alkohol, mungkin nggak vape, mungkin nggak apa.
But for me, it could be games. Like it's still the same thing, right? Because aku main game, mungkin kalau untuk sekali, 2 kali, 3, 4 kali, it's only for refreshing, sure thing. But when it comes kayak jadi main terus-terusan, pacar di neglect, gereja di neglect, berhenti baca Alkitab, lupa diri. You gotta ask yourself again, is that now a useful thing for you? Or else you gotta, leave that aside. Gitu.
Sure.
I mean, I used to be a very addicted person towards game. Tapi as I progress, I learned to control it.
What changed that?
What changed that? Jordan Peterson.
Jordan.
Oh, nice.
Kasih tahu buat orang-orang yang nggak tahu Jordan Peterson itu siapa dan kenapa, apa yang dia bilang sampai mau set aside the game.
Jordan Peterson is basically a very famous Canadian psychologist, clinical psychologist to be exact, yang sempat viral karena his stance on gender. Either it's the LGBTQIA++, or the gender equality. Gitu. And then what changed me was, menurut aku kalau aku bisa sebutin satu hal yang that was the hardest journey of my life. Kayak aku tuh ada titik paling bawah tuh di mana. Still remember, I will never forget 2019. First time beres dari SMA, my mom wants me to as quickly as possible masuk ke uni, lulus, and then you start exploring the world and blah blah blah. So I decided to come to Australia, not because I wanted to come to Australia, but that was because aku tadinya mau ke Jepang because I like everything about Japan, and then secara jurusannya aku nggak tahu sebenarnya. I just want to go there gitu. And then ngerohnya aku bilang ke Tuhan bahwa kayak, Tuhan, let me know kira-kira what do you want, karena I just want to do what you want. And then aku yang dulu berpikir bahwa Tuhan akan ngomong ke aku langsung kayak bagaimana Tuhan ngomong ke Musa, atau kayak Tuhan ngomong ke Yakub lewat mimpi atau apa gitu. So akhirnya aku yakin pokoknya I will go to Australia. And what happens? I go to internet cafe every day. I play games every day. Disuruh nyari kerja nggak kerja, ke uni cuman kalau pengen doang. And then I got depressed. Went back home. Everything was just ruined. It was so chaotic. I don't know what to do. I can't believe in God anymore because I feel like I've been searching for Him, but He never comes to me. I juga dulu I have problems with I think most men have this problem, kayak you watch pornography and then all that, like it's just very depressing. I never thought to kill myself, never once, but selama 1 tahun, aku nggak 1 tahun sih, I think, okay, technically for 1.5 year aku itu di Indonesia belajar bahasa Jepang tapi sambil ngalur ngidul kayak jadi aku ngalur ngidul tuh kalau yang nggak tahu jadi kayak
Tahu.
like I just don't know where I'm going
Yeah.
gitu loh. I'm confused like
Yeah.
I just don't know what to do gitu. And then this one guy named Jordan Peterson suddenly came out on one of my motivational video di YouTube because I really need motivational video during those times. Terus he made a very simple but surprisingly very crazy idea about cleaning your room.
Yes.
Look, I never thought cleaning my room would be such a big impact in my life.
Yeah.
But that day aku nonton videonya dan dia bilang kayak gini. When you want to start to change, don't try to change something that is
Big.
beyond your reach.
Mhm.
What you want is something that you can achieve, but at the same time you want something that not too easy to achieve. Because when it's too easy, when you achieve it, you don't feel like you want to do more.
Mm-mm.
Because like it's too easy, right? But when it's too hard, now you don't want to achieve it because there's no point. Like I'm useless. I'm incapable and all that. You want the balance.
Mm-mm.
So he said, try cleaning your room. It's an easy thing, right? You look at your room. What's so hard about it? It's not like you're disabled. You just have to you just have to take all those things lying on the floor and then put it where it's meant to go.
Yeah.
Gitu. Well, I don't want to show you guys how my room looks like, but it's super messy to the point that my mom yang biasanya suka beresin kamar aku, dia sampai bilang, I can't be asked to do this. You have to clean your room.
Is it that bad?
It's really bad. It's really bad. Jadi akhirnya aku bersihin satu-satu. It took me a week
Mm-hmm.
to actually clean it, and
Oh,
I
wow.
actually swept it. I mopped it. I make sure that everything is good.
Mm.
Surprisingly, I don't know if you guys believe in this or not, but cleaning your room is the same thing as cleaning your mind.
Yes. Sorry. Yes. Kenceng banget gue. Setuju.
I don't. Okay. Because don't quote me on this, but kalau aku nggak salah dengar, Jordan Peterson tuh bilang kayak gini, because your room itu is associated with you.
Mhm.
That's you. Your room is you. If
Mhm.
your room is messy,
Mhm.
it is very likely that you're in a very messy situation.
Mhm.
Gitu loh. It's not always the case because
Mhm.
there are people that are like super smart and then they
Mm.
just have their tendency untuk punya kamar yang berantakan. Tapi ya, that's what happens. And then after I started cleaning my room, everything was so clear. I start to be able to think things more clearly, more logically,
Mhm.
and then start to climb up bit by bit.
Mhm.
And then went to the point dimana kayak I start finding my purpose lewat Tuhan punya God given man dimana kayak mereka ngomongin apologetics terus kayak how to read the Bible properly,
Mhm.
nggak cuman ambil comot-comot sini kiri
Mhm.
kanan gitu. And yeah, it just went uphill straight away after that.
It all starts from
cleaning your
a room. You clean your room, you clean your life basically, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Itulah kenapa kamarku rapi. karena aku mau begitu aku kelar, begitu aku bangun, aku devotion, boker, diamai banget. Habis itu aku beresin aku punya bed. Karena aku tahu aku bakal keluar dari rumah seharian.
Yep.
And gonna be met with so many different circumstances, difficulties segala macam. Aku mau begitu aku balik rumah, I want something that is clean to represent kayak outside of that might be messy, tapi inside I can control.
Yeah.
Right? And I think dan aku juga dapat itu dari
Yep.
Jordan Peterson.
Yep.
12 rules of
12 Rules of Life.
kalau nggak salah.
Very recommended. Okay. I am not sponsoring. I'm not promoting him, but it's really good.
Yeah, a bit hard to read karena bahasanya lumayan susah, but some of the stuff yang he talks about is very very practical sih, I think.
Yeah.
Just as simple as cleaning your room.
Yep.
Karena I think his argument is the mental clutter in your mind will be manifested in the clutter in your room
In
or
your
your
room.
like
Yep.
house basically.
Yep.
So yeah, But yeah, that's why I like my room lumayan tidy. I even like my kitchen tidy. Karena
Right.
I don't know, it just represents something
Yeah.
to me, kayak a sanctuary gitu,
Yeah, yeah.
basically, right? Why are we talking about room sekarang?
Oh no, we're talking about room karena because of my game addiction.
Oh
right?
yes,
Yeah.
that's
Right,
true. That's
right.
true. Yeah. So
Yeah.
everything can be an idol addiction,
Yeah,
something that
yeah.
takes you away from your purpose from God, ya kan ya.
Yeah.
Kayak apa ya? You both like games,
Mhm.
right? Kalau misalnya pacar kalian bilang, man, this is taking too much of our time. How would you handle that? Karena let's be honest ya, karena your game itu can be your source of kayak that's my me time.
Yeah.
Ini cara gua nge-recharge.
Yeah.
Mungkin there a lot of stuff on the outside yang I need to get away, distract myself dulu sebelum
Yeah.
I deal with it.
Yeah.
So maybe makanya you larinya ke game. So have you ever had that discussions? Or
Oh,
kamu
wait,
kamu udah ada communication sebelumnya?
Oh no, that's actually what happened a couple of weeks ago.
Oh.
Maksudnya kayak okay, I have to my partner I have a really hard time trying to balance things when it comes to kapan harus spend time sama my friends, kapan spend time sama church, kapan spend time sama my partner, and kapan I spend time with myself, which is playing games. Nah, the thing is sebelum-sebelumnya itu kita punya masalahnya karena for me when I play games, I play online games. There's no pause button. I can't pause it. If I pause the game, everyone got paused. If I play with 10 other people, 10 people are waiting for me to like, okay, finish your quality time with your partner first and then come back. Like, we can't do that. Jadi akhirnya I talk it out with my partner. A lot of not so good
Disagreements.
yeah, disagreements. Bahkan okay, this might be shocking, tapi we almost break up because of that one. So that's how terrible it was. But akhirnya we came to an understanding bahwa there are things yang aku harus ubah, there are things that she has to change. Particularly when it comes to trying to understand what's my me time and what's her me time. So after she understood that to me playing games is like my me time, she allowed it, but I also allow her to pick a time in which that we can spend time together juga. So it's like, I don't want to make it sound transactional, but sometimes that's kind of works because, okay, look, let's negotiate on this. How would you like to solve this problem? How about if I give you something and then you give me something? Sometimes it doesn't always work, and it's not always healthy if you do it too much because now your relationship becomes transactional.
Yeah.
But when you do it once in a while, it sometimes works.
Yeah.
Jadi makanya tadi, as I said,
Yeah.
I'll give you some of my time when you need it. You just have to tell me when. And then in return, can you please allow me to play until I'm done? You don't have to allow me to play 2 or 3 games. Just let me finish my game. That's all I'm asking. Gitu sih.
Thank you for sharing. I know it must be hard sharing
Yeah,
something that is
yeah.
so recent and so fresh. So thank you for your vulnerability. Berarti this plays a factor in your finding your love dong, Dol, right? You love your game so much, yo. Kayak I could hear you still playing at like 2 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it needs to be controlled.
Okay.
So it is out of
Wait,
control now.
wait. At least you're honest. At least you're honest.
I admit it. Sometimes kadang pelarianku nggak cuma game. I think I'm more addicted to like watching a series or a movie. I think it's more. Soalnya kalau playing games, I still kinda kayak Brian bilang, aku mesti mikir, aku harus do something gitu loh di in games. Sedangkan kalau nanti aku juga udah lega aja, udah tinggal ngikutin plot ceritanya aja, entah dia mau ngapain atau apa gitu. Which is kayak, terus nanti kalau yang ceritanya bersambung, aku aduh nanggung deh, aku lanjut lagi deh. Terus nanti nonton sampai jam 4 taunya. Kayak gitu sih. Tapi ya aku masih lumayan struggle di area situ, soalnya kayak I feel like karena aku belum punya pacar,
Yeah.
I have a lot of times. Where kayak ya
Maybe there is something to be considered.
Iya kan?
Jadi kayaknya selibat juga oke sih. No, I'm joking.
Enggak lah. Ya tapi ya itu aku mungkin karena belum punya pasangan memang. Ya makanya aku punya free time-nya lumayan banyak gitu loh. Jadi kayak then I have like ya banyak waktu untuk kayak main game or watching movie and stuff like that. But I feel like sometimes kalau misalnya udah sampai kayak jam 4 jam 3 itu aku kayak udah kayak mendingan aku udah harus ubah gitu loh. I'm trying to change like bit by bit. Karena ya ngubah habit susah kan, harus pelan-pelan. Jadi kayak ya jadi kayak mulai dari jam 2 dulu selesai jam 1 habis itu ya gitulah. Cuman kadang karena belum terbiasa jadi kadang kita pun gak bisa tidur gitu loh. Misalnya jam segitu karena kebiasaan tidur jam segitu kan. Jadi makanya gak bisa tidur dengan cepat jam segitu juga karena kita kebiasaan tidur lebih malam lagi. Kayak gitu sih. Jadi itunya yang susahnya di bagian situnya. Menurut gue sih kalau lagi mau ngubah gitu. Biasanya either kayak aku berusaha kayak oh ya udah kadang aku suka tidur siang kan. Aku suka nap gitu kan. Aku suka nap. Oh begitu pulang kerja aku capek jam 4 aku udah tidur aja pokoknya.
Itulah kenapa lu gak bisa tidur sampai jam 4 pagi coy karena lu nap.
Iya Kak, makanya napnya sekarang aku pasang waker. Jadi jam 6 aku udah bangun.
Waker
gitu.
Alarm, waker tuh.
Iya, waker itu alarm guys. Nah, biasanya tuh aku enggak pasang waker aku bisa bangun jam 9. Kalau jam 9 ya sudahlah aku enggak bisa tidur lagi kan kalau kayak gitu kan. Ya udah gitu loh. Which is ya ngulang lagi kayak rutinitasnya ulang-ulang lagi. Jadi kayak mau ganti mindsetnya kayak gitu, mau diubah coba. Ya kita lihat apakah berhasil atau tidak.
What about games yang there's so many sexual and demonic innuendos? What do you guys think about those?
Quick question. What would that word? Yeah.
Innuendo tuh kayak kayak subliminal messages tentang demonic and sexual, kayak ngarah ke sono.
Right.
What do you think about those?
Okay. I'm speaking this as a male, okay? Kalau when it comes to games yang ada sexual nudity-nya, I prefer not to play those games.
Okay.
I actually don't play those games. Back then, I kept some of those games just because, like, it's a tough choice. Like, I like the game. That's my me time. And then, in contrast, there's also a problem di mana it can lead me to another sin.
Yes.
And sometimes the sin itself doesn't have to be kayak akhirnya aku jadi jatuh ke pornografi. It doesn't have to. But like just from your thoughts, like you already committed sin, right? And you don't want that because it doesn't make. I don't think that makes God happy. So as my favorite song itu ngomong, ku lepas semua hakku untuk mengenalkan kehendaknya kan. Jadi ya when it comes to those kind of things, akhirnya aku kayak coba untuk lepasin gitu. And funny thing is, after I let those games go, I actually feel that first I'm too dependent towards those games. Because refreshing itself doesn't always have to be those games. The only reason kayak kita bilang bahwa I have to watch movies or else like I can't get my refreshing is because you never thought of another way to refresh yourself. Because look, okay, this is an argument that my dad always said to me and then I hate it so much. Back then, kalau aku main game, aku cuma boleh main 2 jam. And then after 2 hours, I can't play anymore. Aku kalau udah ngerengek bilang kayak, Dad, no, I still want to play, blah blah blah. And then my dad would be like, kenapa kamu harus main? Are you addicted and everything? Terus aku bilang kayak, I'm not addicted. It's just like those games make me feel refreshed. You know what my dad will say? Kalau zaman dulu nggak ada game, kira-kira mereka refreshingnya gimana? Terus aku bilang, I don't know, maybe they go out and play soccer or something. Then go, right? It's not that you can't find another way. It's just like you don't want to find another way. Those are two different things. You're too dependent towards something to the point that you can't let those go. Makanya you bilang kayak gitu, that I can't find another way. No, it's actually not true. Once you break those chains, you'll understand.
That becomes your idol.
Yep.
Bergantungan banget sama itu. Kalau nggak ada itu, you nggak bisa ngelakuin ini itu segala macam.
And sometimes juga, berarti kan harus dipikirin. Kalau misalkan gini, kalau kata papi aku tuh gini, apapun yang kita takut untuk lepaskan itu udah jadi idol kita.
Betul.
Because
Isaac kita.
Yes, because Tuhan bisa ambil apa aja dari kita. Tuhan bisa ambil kalau dari hal duniawi bisa kayak our games, it could be our movies. Tapi juga bahkan ke hal-hal yang very very Christianity lah kasar, atau very biblical, very church related juga bisa jadi idol. Does worship become your God instead of God being worship? Bisa juga kan? Like you're so focused on like worshiping. Kalau gue worship tuh I feel this blah blah blah. Look, it's not about worshiping God and then you feel good. That's wrong. You're supposed to like worship God even though you don't feel good.
Iya.
Right?
Yeah.
And then same thing kalau misalkan contoh aku punya partner. Kalau Tuhan ambil partner aku, am I okay with that? Because if I'm not okay with that, then that's a problem, right? I mean, obviously, enggak.
You're gonna be sad.
Yeah,
obviously.
like being sad and all that. It's emotional. You can't do much about that. Like, tapi the decision making after that yang kita bilang bahwa kayak nggak bisa. Pokoknya if God takes this, wop. So that's a red flag right there. Gitu.
Yeah.
Jadi ya. But again, I think most of the conversation that we have talked so far, it comes to like whether something can actually be useful or not.
Yes. True.
If playing games that you like can refresh your mind, but at the same time ruin your mind because of sexual nudity, is that really useful? Kalau misalkan if we play games and then ada subliminal message about the devil and everything, and then we realize when we reflect that we start to stray away from God, just think about it again. Like, is it really useful? Is it really? Gitu.
Dolan?
Kalau menurutku, I think kalau game, I really looks towards like the story and stuff. I don't really like specifically look, there is some sexual stuff in the game, so I wanna buy the game. No, I just look at like the premise, the story. That's the main premise that I want to buy when I want to buy the game, right? Kalau misalnya kayak ada sexual innuendo or there is some demonic, like the games I play, like Diablo, there is some demonic probably innuendo in it because it's talk about like demons, angels, stuff like that, right? Kalau aku ngelihatnya, aku nggak merasa itu the main point of the game. Ngerti nggak? Itu bukan main fokusnya aku main game gitu loh. Aku nggak look at that gitu loh. Tapi dari satu sisi Brian mungkin ada bisa benar bilang kalau misalnya mana tahu itu subliminal, you don't know about it tapi udah di submit gitu loh. I never think about that gitu loh. I never think about that. Jadi kayak menurutku aku oke aja gitu sama those games gitu loh. As long as I'm not like kayak yang kayak Brian bilang lagi balik kalau misalnya kalau misalnya ya udah kalau gitu lu kalau nggak main game ini gimana? I'm okay still, ya udah aku nggak harus main game itu. I can play any other games. It's same like movie like there is a lot of movie with rated plus. We all watch it like in movies, like right?
Yeah.
I mean, ya kayak misalnya Wolverine and Deadpool. It's so
Rated tapi
gore.
bagus.
It's good. It's good, but it's gore, and a lot of people like bringing their kids and stuff like that, right? Even with parental guidance, well, still harusnya jangan lah ya. Tapi ya gitu. Tapi ya, I think Tuhan nyiptain kita buat bisa apa ya namanya ya? Kita dikasih wisdom lah untuk tahu mana yang bagus, mana yang jelek, dan mana yang kayak kita dikasih kepintaran lah untuk tahu there is a limit di mana kayak misalnya kita udah jadi addicted gitu loh. Kita sebenarnya udah tahu sebenarnya kalau misalnya kita udah addicted sama itu. Kayak misalnya yang Brian bilang tadi, kalau misalnya udah kita nggak mau lepasin, kita kayak merasa aduh nggak bisa gue kalau nggak ada ini nggak jalan gitu loh. Nah itu menurutku yang udah kayak tandanya ini udah jadi masalah gitu loh. Dan which is makanya aku ngerasa kalau misalnya kayak fasting is a really good thing kayak because you try to restart again kayak what is more important kayak can you like stop playing games, can you like stop doing what you likes and shift it to like let's say reading Bibles, which is kind of hard for me kayak untuk focusing untuk reading Bible every day. Tapi kayak I try to make it a habit. Tapi selama kayak misal lagi fasting, I can do it. Kayak I don't really need those things actually. It's fun for me, but I don't really need those things.
Yeah.
That's it. Jadi for me kayak I don't look at the sexual innuendo or the demonic innuendonya, tapi kayak I just like to enjoy the game itself. Gitu.
Yeah.
Without that or not, I don't care.
Yeah, I think that's like the main message of today, right? Kayak tentang apa? Alcohol, ke club, game, TV series, movies, whatever it is. Is it permissible? Yes, some of them are permissible, but to your point, is it useful for your life, right? And Tuhan udah kasih kita wisdom untuk kayak discern which one is good, which one is not so good. Karena I think a lot of the temptations that we fall to, it started off like this little seeds yang kita udah plant in our heads sendiri kan ya. Kayak you start from like listening to some stuff, you start from playing some stuff, terus tahu-taunya it grows into like this crazy stuff. Kayak istilahnya serial killer tuh nggak langsung jadi serial killer. Dia pasti dari mulai dari yang kecil-kecil dulu ya kan ya. And I think that's why Tuhan kasih kita Roh Kudus untuk kayak and komunitas untuk kasih kita kayak this guardrails mana yang mana mana enggak buat you, and kayak alkohol enggak segala macam. Well, buat orang yang mungkin punya pernah addicted to alcohol might not be good for them. It's not good for them. Tapi buat orang-orang yang kayak belum ada emang nggak ada addicted to alcohol, ya dia punya conviction yang berbeda gitu kan ya. And I think Tuhan kasih kita wisdom, and Tuhan kasih kita personal conviction yang kita ya udah bisa jalanin. The problem is jangan jadiin kita punya conviction jadi commandment. Right? Kayak kalau misalnya you ngerasa alkohol itu enggak, atau tato itu enggak boleh sama sekali segala macam. Well, that's your own conviction. Tapi jangan jadiin your own personal conviction jadi commandment ke orang-orang. Because God might be talking about different things to them. But obviously there are some like black and white stuff yang kayak udah
ada yang udah
commandment lah, ya kan ya. But when it comes to like the personal conviction stuff, kayak it's between you and God basically, right? And Tuhan udah kasih kita free will and wisdom untuk kayak walk through it. And so
can I stretch that a little bit?
Sure.
Yang tadi like betul bahwa everything is permissible, but not everything is useful. Tapi if I were to put that statement lebih ekstrim lagi adalah does that make you to be the best version of yourself?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because sometimes we just do things and we never thought of whether it actually brings the best version of ourselves.
Right? Does it add value to you?
Yes,
Absolutely. If it doesn't add value to you, then you need to ask your value in the first place. Kenapa you mau add that thing in the first place, right? So well, thank you for being super honest, being super vulnerable, and thank you for being super honest and being super vulnerable too. And hopefully masih mau balik lagi, Dolan. Terus ntar kita next kita bisa ngebahas tentang Lilith, kita ngebahas tentang yang all those mythology stuff, alright? And thank you, Brian, once again. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.